how to create winning ads post Android update. So in today's video, I'm gonna take you guys through our entire process on how we identify what ads to actually create, and also our thoughts around creatives, vehicles, content, messaging, and all of the other things regarding content that is required to create winning ads at a constant level. Also, I'm going to speak a bit about volume and how that has changed as well. And also iteration versus like net new concepts. I'm going to walk you guys through everything. So what is the Android update? So about half a year ago, actually Meta did a huge update, which has changed how the algorithm now distributes content, and also this affects how you should look at creating content. So let's jump straight into it. So one of the first things that I'm going to speak about here is what exactly is going on regarding the algorithms today. So all of the green dots here, you have to imagine, is your customers. And this is just, it doesn't necessarily have to be just your customers, this is just the entire customers who are on social platforms, let's say Meta, Facebook or Instagram. And this is your content, right? All of these bubbles. So if you are creating non-diversified content, which means that your content has the same format, vehicle, and it also has the same messaging, and it also has the same persona, and it also has the same angle, right? Then you will hit the same people over and over again, and all of your content will sort of overlap, meaning you'll get very limited amount of spend. Like your ROAS will just drop tremendously as you try to scale up your ad spend, and you won't really receive astronomical results because you're just hitting the same people with the same angles and the same ICP over and over again. So what you should do instead today is, instead of course, that's long that in terms of actually hitting the right people, fixing stuff in the ad account. Today, content is the targeting. So you should create content which is diversified in terms of angles, in terms of ICP, in terms of vehicles, in terms of messaging, and a lot more of these variables. And then you'll unlock small sections of ICPs that you really haven't touched before, and this will allow you to scale ad spend, have the same ROAS or even a higher ROAS at scale, and that allows you to, of course, have a larger business which is more profitable overall. So to really dumb this down and give you guys some concrete examples on how this really looks in terms of the content and the messaging. So what we have here is a graph, right? We have the less differentiated and we have the more differentiated here. This is what we should opt for. So in this case, we have similar message and we have similar style of image. As you can see, the messaging, a space adventure like no other, ready for a space adventure. This is very similar, and the image itself is totally the same as well. This is not how to do it. You will get the exact same results. These two, you won't be able to see a difference in performance. So what you should opt for today is like these big swings. You should see how diverse can we actually make our content. And that is what you should think about constantly once you're creating content, when you're scripting, when you are planning what kind of content to create. In the middle here, we have a thing that's somewhat better. We have differentiated message, but the same style of image. This can work if you have something concrete to test out. Let's say you launch a new SKU, a new product, and you want to test out whether it's actually, acne. Let's say you launch a skincare product, you want to test out if it's actually really hitting the ICP in terms of acne or let's say NGH, right? Then this can work to sort of give yourself some information about how the customers react. But this is really what you should aim for most of the time. Both the differentiated message and differentiated style. So here we have totally different copy. New movie awaits you. Get 1 month of streaming for free. So it's even like a completely different offer as well. And the picture is totally different as well. And you could even make this a lot more different, right? This, again, I would actually say is somewhat the same. The colors is like, this sort of overall vibe is the same, right? So this could be even more different. It's both like AI generated photo, graphics, something like that, right? So as I just told you guys, messaging tests still work where you're only changing the messaging, but you should do this less overall. So yeah, of course it still works. Trying, acne, trying anti-aging, trying something with sensitive skin, if it's the same product you are sort of pitching. And then also what you have to think about is the awareness stages. Now I've taken some example from one of our clients in the agency here. And really what you should also aim for is like differentiated content also in terms of the different awareness stages that you are hitting. Most brands are only hitting the solution aware, product aware, and most aware customers. And if you want to scale fast and very aggressively, then it's always the unaware and the problem aware ads that get the most spent. Especially if you have products where, it's really a longer customer journey and you also need to communicate a lot about your brand. And if it's like more uncommon products, this is really also even more important. This just exaggerates the problem. So what you can see here is the awareness funnel. We have the unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware. And this is the funnel that every customer goes through before they buy. Yes, you'll have some people who, once they actually see your brand, they are already on the product aware, and they just need to get from here to here, right? But you will also have a lot of customers who will be totally unaware. They don't even know they have a problem, right? So you also need to hit those. And most brands, they really neglect these two, and that's where you sometimes see the biggest scale, because this will again be the ads that can pull the most spend without you seeing a diminished returns in terms of performance. So in the unaware, you would talk about identity, mood, lifestyle, aesthetics, feelings, news, etc. Something that's really scroll stopping and is not a hard sell. It has to, you don't even have to mention the product, right? As you can see here, it's like Norwegian skincare sensation is taking Europe with storm, right? And stuff like that, where it's like, Advertorials is great for this. As you can see, I've put 2 Advertorials up here. And then there's like, dive deeper into the problem. They know they have a problem, but they don't know the solution. So this could be literally just pointing out the problem. For example, in this video, can you actually reduce wrinkles, right? Yes, you can. And then she proceeds on explaining how. This takes them to the lower funnel, where we have UGC videos. This is for people, they know a solution exists, but they aren't sure which one is best. And this is also where you could do like comparison ads, image ads, which I'm going to show you in a second, where people are now ready to buy a product, but they don't know if it's from this brand or this brand, right? So that's also very important. And then we have the product aware, which is basically what I spoke about here, right? Why is your brand the best? And then you really have to nail it down. And then we have like the best offer, which is the most aware. Of course, in the end, if you want to really persuade people to buy, it works tremendously well to have a very good offer, which you also need to split test a lot on. So in terms of goals, this has changed quite a bit. Before, let's say 2 years ago, I was doing, and we were doing mostly iterations, right? And maybe this was actually completely switched. We were doing like 80% iterations on what actually works, and then we're doing 20% net new concepts. This has totally switched today. Now it's about big swings. How differentiated can you make the content? And that will basically enable you to test more content and more new ideas, which will enable you to have a faster learning overall. And then there's a larger chance you'll hit a winning format. So in terms of vehicles, this is one of the most important things to differentiate on today. Most brands, they are still differentiating on messaging, but they are really lacking different vehicles. They're mostly doing the same 2-3 vehicles over and over again because they have the internal setup to produce these vehicles. And another thing I would say, one of the reasons it performs so well to create a lot of this diverse vehicles, which is basically different formats, right, is also that most brands, they don't have either the money, or they don't have the framework, or they don't want to spend the effort producing, let's say, a phone call or a street interview. And this means that there will be less populated content on the social platforms of this kind of content, because not a lot of people can actually produce it, right? So this means that when you produce these kinds of formats, it will be mostly, they will have like a higher, it'll have like a higher newsworthiness, like it'll be something new that people haven't seen before. And of course they have seen it before, but they see it less often, meaning that it will hit harder. We have before and after, we have high production, we have podcast, we have UGC, we have street interview, founder, EDC, motion graphics, phone call, and we have an entire Notion document where we have listed like, I think in terms of vehicles for videos, I think we have like 20 different ones, perhaps even more. So I've just taken some of my, the ones I like the most, as you can see here. So we have this for videos, but we also have it for stills. Before and after, sticky note, podcast, compare, message, editorial, collection, meme, right? And again, you can be very creative with this. But the way I want you to look at it is if you are now sort of looking at your Meta account, or you're looking to plan what kind of creatives you're going to produce in the next few weeks or even the next month, then I would highly advise you to actually just produce, like, pick all of the best performing vehicles, as you can see here in terms of stills, and pick all of the things that you think would perform well for you, and that is very diverse, right? So instead of only producing, like, let's say 20 UGC videos, which I see still a lot of people doing, then, like, let's say produce 5 UGC videos, and then actually spend some of your money and effort into producing, let's say, street interview, phone call, motion graphics, that will most likely in the end perform better overall. So the way I look at it in terms of how to actually utilize this so it's like very concrete and what actions to take, because a lot of people, they see this, oh, it's great, Gustav, but we don't know how to create it, and we don't really know how to structure testing this. So what specifically I would do for, like, brands starting out with producing a lot of different content is I would make a messaging roadmap. Again, this is super, super simple, but most brands are not doing it. So let's say you are a skincare brand, maybe you haven't really found your, like, winning angle yet, or maybe you have found a few winning angles. Then I would still really test, like, really go deep into what kind of problems. And I would start with the big, well-known problems first, and then you can, when you find a winning angle, you can sort of double down and then go really deep into, okay, yes, anti-aging works, and then, like, find subgroups. Is it wrinkles under the eyes? Is it wrinkles on the sort of neck area? Or really, why is it that anti-age really hits? Is it because they are lacking confidence, and you can give them confidence by solving this problem? Or is it the fear of being seen as old, which in the end, like, makes people treat them differently? So you can really dive deep. But again, it's about identifying the highest leverage activities, which will give you the highest increase in incremental spend. Like, how many new eyeballs can we reach, which will actually end up purchasing. So let's start with all of the big ones, which is like formats, and then messaging. So acne, anti-age, dark spots, sun damage, this could just be a few of the, like, large angles you could test for a skincare brand. And then, of course, what is, again, the most important, because most people are not doing it, is really testing the different vehicles. So I would just split it up. Let's say week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And then I would say, okay, this week we'll go all in on producing before and after videos and on the street content. And if you don't have the capacity for this, just pick one every week, right? Or one every second week if you're really tight on money or resources. And then also do the same for stills. Sticky note, editorials this week. And then just map out what you think is going to perform the best. So this is obviously for the net new concepts. Then you'd also have a second roadmap where it's like iterations based on what worked the previous weeks, and then tweak that somewhat. It could be, let's say you have a winning. Let's say we know now that the podcast vehicle, it just works tremendously well. Then, of course, in your iteration, you would try to do a podcast ad again, but maybe with a different messaging, maybe with a different ICP, so a different person in the video. Right now in this video, right, it's like middle-aged women. It could be that you can now try with a younger girl, which now has different products, different problems, right? So this is really how I would think about it today, and then do really big swings. For most brands, really stop doing this too much. Really, most brands should just start like doing completely different stuff and be very creative. So yeah, that was basically it for me. If you need any help with this, or yeah, again, you have any questions, feel free to leave them below, and then I will get back to you guys.